been one of those nights when the jukebox shuts down. Done everything there is to do.
Shallot 101.
Here we go.
Kids, don't try this at home.
Actually, a shallot is isn't it kind of like a combination of an onion and a garlic?
No.
Somewhat.
It's a
Brian?
type of onion, but it's much sweeter.
Sweeter than, say, a Vidalia onion or a regular sweet onion. And smaller, too, in size, for sure.
Eyes. Mega hurting full on your eyes.
And this is all going into the bisque, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That it is. That it is.
Some pretty detailed work going on there.
It's an art. It's definitely an art. And we are all
You know, folks, we're not talking hamburger helper here. We're talking about a delicacy, southern, northern. Anytime lobster is involved or any kind of seafood, it's definitely worldwide. Right, Mark?
That's it. You're very correct.
Keep up the good work. Shallots and garlic.
Voila.
What you gonna do with that?
It'll be incorporated in the bisque eventually when we do the reduction.
Actually, we're going to start sauteing that first.
Actually, yeah, we'll start sauteing those up.
That's what I want to see. A little sizzle in the grizzle. We've got everything into the clear glass bowl, and what are we looking at here?
That is a shrimp lobster stock, which is
It's going to be added.
about a 2-hour reduction. You start with mirepoix, which is your celery, carrot, onion, a little bit of garlic, some salt and pepper, and fill your pot with water. Let it reduce down by about half. We refilled the water a little bit, so it got a little bit more reduction on it. So it gives a little bit more flavor to the juice. So now what we're going to do is take this pot, saute some shallot and garlic in it, deglaze it with some sherry wine, add this lobster stock to it, bring it to a boil, hit it with some heavy cream and tighten it up. We'll have some shrimp and lobster bisque.
And it sounds like a great dish for everybody tonight. I got something in process here. What's going on? Refresh our memory of what's going on in this pot here. We're sauteing.
We're gonna do a quick saute and some shallot and garlic that we diced up. Hit it with some salt and a little bit of white pepper. You know, it's gonna end up being a cream sauce type of soup, so you don't want to have black specks in it. So we use white pepper. Plus, it's a little different flavor.
It's good. You're paying a lot of attention to detail here. It has a very unique. I don't want to say fragrance or a pungent odor, or actually it smells very pleasant. I can smell the garlic, but I'm not too familiar with shallots.
Yeah, the shallot it's kind of like it's a different type of an onion. It's a different species or whatever you call it. A little bit more sweet, a lot more aromatic.
I'm kind of partial to purple onion. I don't know, maybe because they make me cry when I cut them, or I like the way
they're similar to purple onion.
We're adding cookies
Cherry
and
wine.
cherry wine.
For the size of pot we're using, we're going to use a whole 12-ounce bottle of sherry.
12 ounces.
Bottle of sherry.
You want to reduce this down by about half. Then what we'll do after that is we take our lobster and shrimp stock that we made, put it in the pot, bring it up to a boil, and turn it down to a simmer. And then once we're there, we'll add a little bit of cream, tighten it up with a little bit of roux, and then just season it to taste.
As far as reduction go, for those that don't understand about being a cook or a chef, what does that actually mean?
Well, you know, 9 times out of 10 when you're doing a reduction, you're also trying to get the flavor off the bottom of the pan. We sauteed the shallot and garlic in there, so the wine is actually helping free that flavor from the bottom of the pan. And the reduction is essentially just, if you had, so say we added 12 ounces of sherry to it, we want to bring it down to about 6 ounces, just so it makes that intense flavor of the sherry throughout the soup. Alright, so now we've got this sherry reduced down to, you know, a pretty good point. It's pretty much half, you know, reduced by half. We're we're going to add our shrimp and lobster stock. So go ahead, Mark.
So that's going to actually stop the boiling, and what's going to happen after this?
Well, it's just going to give the shallot, garlic, and the sherry time to really blossom throughout the stock we've made. And as it comes up to a boil, you know, it'll really start to bloom throughout the liquid we've made. Okay, we're just making a roux here, which is just equal parts flour and oil, or if you would like to go so far as to clarify, some butter.
What kind of oil?
Whatever oil you have, really. We actually only have olive oil, which I don't recommend making a roux with olive oil. You know, just a regular old vegetable oil, that's plenty. You know, this is going to help tighten the soup up when it comes up to temperature. You want to bring your soup up to about 180 degrees, and that's when this roux will actually take effect in your sauce and thicken. And then you just want to thicken it to your desired consistency.
What happened to your left hand?
I got in a fight with Mike Tyson.
Did you win?
I hit him one time, and you see what happened. No, I was in a car accident.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's good.
It's looking
You want to get it smooth. You want to get all the lumps out.
it's looking very smooth. Yeah, we got really something going on over here. This is Pepper Man. We're back here at the Lobster Bisque cook-off. And what have we got in this big pot here that's steaming away?
That is the base of our lobster and shrimp bisque. Shallot, garlic, sauteed with a sherry reduction, and then we added our lobster stock to it. We're going to bring it up to temperature, add a little bit of cream, bring that back up to temperature, and hit it with this roux and tighten it up, and we should be good to go.
All right.
All right, what we're going to do now is we've got a rapid boil on our stock. We're going to add a little bit of cream. It's going to cool down the stock just a touch. It's going to be a couple more minutes, and then we can hit it with our roux, thicken it to to the consistency you like it, and we'll taste it. And if you need seasoning, add a little seasoning. If not, we're going to cool it down, and it's ready to go when we need it. All right, now we're going to put the roux in. Go ahead and stop right there, and let's just make sure you don't want to get it too thick. It's easier to make it more thick than thin it out. So we'll go ahead and let that set for a minute and see what it looks like. Really what you want to do to make sure it's thick enough is take a wooden spoon or like a spatula like this and see how it's really not coating that spatula. It just kind of runs right off. You want to get it a little bit thicker than that. So let's go ahead and try the rest of that roux in here, and you'll see the difference. That's teamwork right there, brother. Reduce that heat a little bit so you don't scorch it. All that work could be gone in 2 seconds.
Just from overheating it or overcooking.
Yeah. That cream, you can scald it, and it just tastes like a big piece of burnt popcorn.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm going to let that reduce down a little bit. See how it's still not sticking to that spoon yet?
So you're saying the consistency is still not quite where you
It's
want it to be?
a little bit thinner than I'd like it to be, but it's getting close. And I think we just keep that heat low, let it reduce down. The cream will naturally reduce, and everything will
I'll
thicken
tell you
up.
what, whatever that's going on to, I'm getting hungry because it smells really, really good.
Well, that's good. It does smell delicious.
What we got going on here?
You notice how I mentioned earlier about the spoon and the soup sticking to it. See how it's starting to adhere to the spoon much more? And it
Kind of a
film.
syrupy texture, maybe not quite as thick.
Yeah, you don't want it to be too thick, but then again, it's just a matter of your taste. So, with a bisque, you want it to be somewhat smooth like that. So, I think we're there. It smells delicious. We tasted it. It tastes good. I think we're ready to take this off.
Did it taste good, Mark?
Absolutely. It is delicious.
Best ever.
Take this off the burner and cool it down, and put it in an ice bath. All right, so what we've done was we've taken our hot soup, we put it in this nice glass bowl. You want to use something that's very durable. See how thick that is. And what we're going to take now is we're going to take a bigger bowl, put some ice in it, set this soup in it, so that it will cool down and it won't break on you. And it helps the shelf life of your soup last a lot longer. All right, so what we've done is taken our hot soup, put it in this bowl, and I mentioned an ice bath earlier. What we're going to do is take the bigger bowl we have, put some ice in the bottom of it so it comes up, about here on the side of this bowl, and it's going to cool the soup down rapidly, and it's going to help the shelf life of the soup, so it'll last, maybe 4 or 5 more days. Some pre-cooked snow crab, or opilio crab if you like. And
World's dangerous job?
Yeah, this is definitely good. It's, don't
What's the
fall-
difference between a paleo crab and a king crab?
Well, it's basically the size of it. It's a different breed of crab. You'll see see how the snow crab leg is much thinner. A king crab leg is significantly longer. It's a larger crab, and the meat's going to be about that big. Right
How do you feel about the taste and the difference in the taste?
It depends. It's a similar texture.
If you're a different everyday person off of the street, do you
This
really
is going to be
think?
much more salty.
And the snow crab is probably much more feasible as far as expense-wise goes.
Not necessarily. I mean, the prices fluctuate. The difference really is the flavor. This is going to be a lot more salty. The way that you get them, you don't really ever see a fresh snow crab in Florida. So they come out of Canada.
They
out
come
of Alaska.
frozen.
Yeah. So this is going to be something that's pre-cooked and it's pretty salty. And I think it could just be the nature of the crab. But the king crab is much thicker meat. It's probably about 1 inch in width.
The final result. Let's take a closer look at this. Everybody's got their little bowl. It's looking good.
Hard to cut with a cast on.
Doing a mighty fine job there, sir. Bread for everybody.
Break bread.
Work that knife.
Which I could.
Nothing like a good sharp knife, huh?
Mm-hmm.